Good morning, Willowbrook. My name is Tanya Adams. I'm the WB Kids Assistant here at the Madison campus. Today we are in Philippians 1 verses 12 through 18. So later on in this chapter, we'll see how the people that Paul is talking to are being persecuted and are going through the same types of things that Paul has gone through and is going through. And I don't know, maybe I was just reading it through my mommy glasses, but as I read it, I saw a picture of like when our child is going through something tough, really hard, and you wish you could change places with them, but you can't. They have to go through it. And all you can do is be there to support them and encourage them, knowing that you have gone through similar things. And I feel like that's what Paul is doing here. He's sympathetic, but he's also encouraging them to keep on. A couple of the verses that really stood out to me also, the first two actually. Now I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I am in chains for Christ. And as I read that, I was thinking, can I say the same sort of thing? Can we say the same sort of thing? Can we say, it is clear to everyone in the office that I work for Christ. It's clear to everyone in the school that I study for Christ. It's clear to everyone in the gym that I take care of myself for Christ. Because whatever we do, we are to do it to the glory of God. And Paul was very clear on that. He knew that whatever he did, and whatever circumstances that he was in, that he was to bring glory to God. And here he is, resting in God's sovereignty again, because he's not in control of the situation. I'm sure he'd pick a different situation if he could. But here he is, resting in God's sovereignty, not in control, but he is in control of how he reacts. He is in control of what he does while he is in that circumstance. And it's horrible circumstances. But Paul also says it's great, because it's furthering the gospel. That's what he's doing. But he's also encouraging his brothers and sisters to share the gospel without fear. Like, not to look at his circumstances and have fear and stop sharing the gospel, but to look at his circumstances and, in spite of that, share the gospel. You know, I was reading another book, I can't remember what the name of the book was, but it had this phrase in it that said, boldness births boldness. And that's what I thought about as I read this. It's like, you ever said that to somebody, if you do it, I'll do it. Or a roller coaster that you're terrified to ride, and your friend gets up there and rides and survives, surprisingly, and has a pretty good time. You're thinking, maybe I can do that too, right? It's terrifying, but I could probably do that too. Boldness births boldness. And Paul is showing them that, yeah, these circumstances are tough, but Christ is worth it. And so worth it that I am willing to suffer over and over and over again. And then in verse 18, we see where it feels like Paul is enthusiastic when he says this. But he's like, the important thing is that Christ is being preached. The gospel is being preached. And in that, I rejoice. That brings me joy. And just like Paul, we can have joy in every circumstance. It can be an extraordinary circumstance, or it can be an everyday, mundane life. We can have joy, and we can glorify God and further the gospel in the process. Thank you guys for joining us today. Have a good day.